Ah, disease theory. This is very relevant today, but it has always been very relevant because in man's, let's say, 200,000 year history, 200,000 years that we have driven back to humankind's existence as sitting in an easy chair, right? So, disease theory, disease vectors, disease transmission, disease severity. These are all things we can go back to individual cases and look at. The most recent, everyone seems to have forgotten, is the Zika virus. The disease vectors, how it is transmitted, how fatal, how not fatal, how risky is it? And that risk includes fatalities, Zika virus now, right? It also includes children, babies, little embryos, little things in the womb being developed. The outcome from that could be a miscarriage. It could be a prudent, well-considered abortion, woman's health care choice. Or it could carry a baby to term and be a joyous occasion. All of them are there was three choices in that tree, right? And one of them is not voluntary. Nature could decide that the child, the baby, what is it at that point? It's an egg and a sperm still. The body can say, the female body, not the male. He's out of the picture right now. This is the woman doing her woman thing that doctors know about and your preacher doesn't. Sorry. So this thing out there, these things out there are known historical events. It can take you back to herd immunity. If you are compromised, immune stress, things like skin diseases are a lot of times caused by stress. Angst, anxiety, worries, concerns, risks. And they're valid, they're real. You have to have some level of concern. But the other side of that is understanding exposure is as important as not. If you have an isolated community, the further and longer isolated, the more risk they are for these naturally occurring things. Through the waves of history, these naturally occurring events have happened. Deep history. We are just learning more and more about how far back these changes in our lives go. These tidal waves, building in a valley, a fertile valley. And the reason it's a fertile valley is flooding that happens every 10,000 years. And surprised, there's a flood. These are the waves of human history that you get to look at when you know they're there. On the one side, it's amazing. Another side, it's scary. How many sides are on the dice? So the awareness is big. The being able to deal with it is big. Luckily, reasonably healthy. Genetically reasonably healthy. The luck of the parents draw. So these disease vectors, the length, the depth of these, it's struggling, it's threatening in some aspects. And yet, here it is. It's facing us again. I reference Zika because it disappeared. I still have questions about the vector causes of the disease. What created that genetic mutation back in the mosquitoes, or what? So those questions are being asked and they're being answered slowly and methodically. The appointment of folks of faith to lead these efforts is worth questioning based on their history and their use of what we know about the real world. So for me, I keep 2 weeks of food around, kind of, mostly, a little bit. That's enough. But it's always there, so I'm always buying about the same amounts of food because that's kind of has to be enough. More is gluttony and sin and waste, right? And it's more stuff to throw away. So now you have food stores, you have to rotate. Okay, if you look back, you can find the video. I've been here through these survival ideas. Great ideas. So understand these diseases. This could be put in the terms of biological warfare. And it has been and will be used that way. But we learned this from how nature has worked over a long time. The brief mentions of the plagues and the diseases and the locusts from times past, times long past, on continents not pointing to our history, spreads the globe. It's awesome. It's cool. It's threatening. Enjoy. Peace out. Stay safe. And community involves interactions. It's a healthy thing. I'm doing it from a lazy boy, very tired lazy boy. Peace is out. Be good.